passing through the depths of outer space.
Hello, I'm alive. I don't know what's going on.
By your command. Fascinating.
Damn you all to hell!
It's the Sci-Fi Podcast.
All right, from the far reaches of Portsmouth to the dark undertones of Portsmouth to the hidden streets of Portsmouth in the dark places of the other dimensions of Portsmouth, I bring to you from Portsmouth, Michael Ball. And how are you this week?
Well, I'm actually from Portsmouth this week, so we've already mentioned Portsmouth 5 times within the last 10 seconds. So I'm fine but you're not in Portsmouth. So a colleague who's not from Portsmouth, how are you, Martin?
I'm all right. Just pissed it down all day.
Has it?
Yeah, just rain and it's pitch black outside at 5 o'clock.
You're joking. Do you know what? Here in Portsmouth, which we've already mentioned, it's been a lovely sunny day the whole day. Not a cloud in the sky.
Well, I'll move to Portsmouth.
No, it's all right. I don't know. I don't think it's that bigger of a chance to move in there.
I actually watched some. Oh God, I've got to get a life. I watched a view cam of Portsmouth this morning.
Oh, did you? Why on
from
earth did you do that?
HMS Warrior, yeah.
Okay. Well, at least you're not going on the ride cam that we've featured quite a few times with that guy that literally every morning, every day, he's like, if you know, and he's talking about. Well, I just don't know why you go on the webcam every day. But then some people would say that about us. I mean, why do we talk about science fiction every week? But I think science fiction as a whole entity is a little bit more entertaining than looking at a bus cam in Ride, where it's all cruddy and I just don't know. I don't understand that. But to each their own, I suppose.
Well, there's been a lot going on in science fiction this week.
I know.
There's been some big movements this week. Massive movements. I know.
Well, I mean, we're going to focus it on the news, but do you want to quickly sort of go across it and mention what you've seen?
Well, the Boba Fett trailer was released 12 days early.
Yes, and I sent you a link, didn't I?
I caught that at the last minute. Yeah, I just caught it when it just got dropped. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of it?
Superb. I can't wait.
And they're saying that they reckon that all the stuff that we saw was only from episode 1 or 2 at the most. So, and they're not told us hardly anything. It's really you can tell. And apparently the Mandalorian season 2 trailer, when that came out, that hardly told us anything either. I can't remember the trailer for season 2. So very excited. Cannot wait to see this series. I think it starts on December the 29th. Almost out of this year, but after a void of nothing much to watch, this is going to be one of the big ones for me.
Yes.
And of course, we've also just seen episode 1, season 13 of Doctor Who with Jodie Whitaker.
Which will be interesting. I was going to contact you Sunday night actually about it, but I thought I'll leave it till Wednesday.
Yeah, no, we can talk about it and obviously share it with people online. But I mean, I think what we'll do is let's go into the focus of the week, which is the Jodie Whitaker era. Talk about the era in general, and then perhaps we could talk about our reactions to episode 1 of season 13. How does that sound with you?
That sounds absolutely wonderful.
I'm glad to hear it. Well, let's go into the jingle.
I'm infused with enthusiasm.
Well, that's enthusiasm to hear as well. I don't know what I'm saying.
Okay.
That was a fluff. Let's go into the topic of the week. Here we go.
It's the Solar Sci-Fi Focus
Of the week.
Right, and then so Doctor Who is back. We have reviewed, so far we have reviewed Doctors 3, 4, 6, 10, 11 and 12. And so we thought that because we're going into a new season of Doctor Who with the current incarnation of Jodie Whitaker, that we would focus on this show. So, I mean, first of all, now this is certainly a controversial era of every Doctor Who era has its pros and cons. This era has got a lot of negativity towards it. I think some of it is unfair, but I think a lot of it does also have some credibility, shall we say. So I'm actually in the background. I'm going to in a second. Well, after the actual opening title, because I've got the opening titles. And let's play it now. In the background, you'll see the reveal. Obviously, Martin, you won't, but you'll see it on the replay of when Jodie Whitaker was shown to be the next Doctor. I remember it was after the Wimbledon final of 2017, I think it was, and she had this hood on, and then suddenly we didn't know if the Doctor was going to be a male or a female, and then of course she took her cloak off, and it was Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. Now, so first impressions, were you pleased to see a female Doctor? How did you first come across this? What was your first reactions?
Well, I thought after the Missy thing, I was suspicious that they'd try it.
Yeah, I mean, they had
made
an
Missy
indication.
a success, didn't they? Missy,
Yes.
I'm a big fan of Missy.
Me too.
So, and there've been rumours for a while that it was going to be a lady. And when they revealed it on that 3-minute advert thing before the new series, the new Doctor, I thought, yeah, all right, let's give it a go.
Sure.
The Vaulted Time Lord, whatever, right, fair enough. Let's just, give it a go. And they got this so-called writer in who were meant to be amazing. I went in with a lot of positivity, and in my review videos of the episodes,
Yeah.
I did defend the decision. I thought, well, if Missy worked, they could make it work with the Doctor.
So can we just say that all these reviews are still on your YouTube channel? You can go back to your channel and get your initial impressions.
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, yes. Okay. Well, if you want to spend some time hearing from Martin from yesteryear, talking about his first impressions, then they are all on Martin's Sci-Fi Appeal on YouTube.
No, I went with it. Now, I will say this, right? When you look at Facebook, there's a lot of Jodie groups, and I've had a nosy around, and it does have a fan base. A lot of people do like her.
Absolutely.
Just because we don't. There's people out there that think she's marvellous, and she will be this generation's Doctor. You can't alter that.
Well, it's funny this because you've already mentioned Michelle Gomez, who of course played Missy, who was an incarnation of the Master. And when you first talk about Jodie's era, you do think, well, look, is it us just being a bit closed-minded? But it's not, because Michelle Gomez was so strong as a female Master. She just stole every scene that she was in.
She did.
And of course, so it's not about sexism. It's simply
No, I've never said that. No.
Me neither. So let's go into what is it about Jodie Whittaker's era? I mean, it's not just herself. It's a lot. It's to do with the writing, isn't it? Is that how you feel?
I just, some of the stories and what they did with the origin story just annoyed me. I just think we had an established continuation. I mean, I did like Dr. Ruth. I found her quite fascinating, but the timeless child thing and lost memories and other regenerations, and I mean, there were no real logical answer to any of it all, and I even like the dude that played the Master. I thought he played him beautifully.
I liked him. Yeah, Sasha's someone. Yeah, he was actually
totally
very,
insane.
very good. Yeah, I mean,
Totally
he had this
insane.
wicked laugh. I mean, so
Yeah.
it's funny. I mean, what I've always said about this era, let's talk about the writing in a minute, but this is a lot to talk about. I personally, and I have talked to you about this before, is that I feel that partly the problem was there's too many companions in the Jodie Whittaker era, and also that for me at least, she's never stood out as a proper Doctor. She's always just been kind of like an extra companion. It's almost like a doctorless era of Doctor Who, and I think for me that's what's really kind of put me off a bit, this kind of era. So how shall I say this? Do you think that she might have done better if there'd have been just one other companion in those first 2 seasons with her? Could she have stood out more?
I mean, there were Ryan. He couldn't act for.
He was a terrible actor.
Yeah, he's landed a TV series in America. Don't ask me how. I find Yaz I get annoyed with. Bradley Walsh, there was something there with his character.
Bradley Walsh was the strongest of the 3 characters.
Because when he lost his partner, and he were in quite a dark place, and
Yeah.
he went off with the doctors to deal with the grief. I found that quite touching.
Yeah,
I found
me
that
too.
it really, and then we got the New Year's episode, but I'm not even.
I like that one, Revolution.
No,
I didn't mind.
I don't like. Well, obviously, let's start with the first season. We'll get.
All right, so the first season. So obviously, we had this new character called Tim Shaw, who was this character who had like teeth in his face, where I think it's a bit like the Kardashians taking Jem Hadar taking Kardashian neck bones or something from Star Trek. They're having like a trophy of their destruction, or their, what's the word?
Well, it was just a Predator knockoff, weren't they? Really?
Yeah, it was a Predator. Yeah, it's a trophy. Like Predator has the trophy of the dead. It's a
the
similar
most
thing.
lame villain that even came back later on. Well,
some people were saying that basically Chris Chibnall for the season 11 was trying to do a whole new spin on Doctor Who and create new, quote, exciting villains in that first season. And I think the problem is that a lot of the stories were pretty weak. I'm just going into actually the first season. I'm going to go through some of the episodes. There was, was there any episodes of season 11 that you remember that you enjoyed?
Well, I think I remember talking to you about one of the episodes that was all right. You know, but nothing really. You know, like I could with Tom Baker or David Tennant, I could name an episode. You know, I could name it. I could name an episode. You know, where you remember it. First season for me, there were nothing. I think the one of the spiders in Sheffield or something.
That was considered a very weak episode. There was
it was terrible with that Donald Trump clone greedy hotel owner or whatever.
Yeah. What about there was an episode which was where Yaz's family are looked at. We called Demons of the Punjab. Now, I actually thought that episode was quite good. I thought that was
I vaguely remember that. What did you think to the Rosa Parks episode in season 1?
That was season 11. Yes, it was. I
found that could have had a lot of potential. That could have gone down as a classic episode. And then they had a villain from the future. It never really went into his motivations.
That's right. I mean, they had a villain
from the future. But the story of Rosa Parks is an incredible story. You know, when she refused to move off that bus, it's an incredible story, and it's, you know, they could have built a classic episode around that story, but they're all sat on bus giggling and what, you know, watching this moment. I know it's a big thing. It really is.
Let's just hypothetically say that if that episode had been made, and instead of Jodie Whitaker, Yaz, and the others, it was David Tennant and Rose or someone like that. Could that? This is an interesting question. If it had been done with a different Doctor and a different companion, with a very similar story, but they're obviously the interaction will be different from their characters, might that have made it a more of a classic?
No, because he wrote the episode, didn't he?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that is it because he wrote the episode, or is it partly the Doctor?
I think it is his two-factor thing. That's what I'm asking. She couldn't carry that depth, because that was an episode that should have had so much depth.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Like Star Trek, with "Let This Be Your Last Battlefield." It's got depth and power, and the message in it. That episode, to me, should have been like that, and it
absolutely.
Wasn't. And I think if you'd have put David Tennant in, I don't know how it would have worked. I don't think it would have worked because he wrote it. Maybe it'd have come across personality-wise, but you're still going to get the same story with the same villain. It had no motivation whatsoever in that.
So it was kind of like, I was going to say they half got there because they had a good idea.
Yeah, they did.
It was the execution. It's kind of like, in principle, it was a good idea, but you're saying that the execution and the way that the story resolved itself is kind of what sort of spiraled it down into losing it. Is what you're saying?
Well, the conversation I had with people after. What was the point of the villain? The guy, the racist guy from the future. What was the point of him?
I can't even remember what he was doing there.
I know. Well, that what point of it? Oh, he went back to stop this. And
I can't remember what he was doing
one
there.
of the greatest moments in civil rights history, and he was just totally pointless.
Yeah, I mean, Demons of the Punjab had that alien race who were observing and taking away the soul, which I thought was actually a better idea. And I'm looking at the actual ratings or the for the season 11, and the highest rating is actually no, that's not right. That's the previous season. The woman who fell to Earth was 6.8. The highest was Rosa at 6.9. And then Demons of the Punjab 6.4. Most of the others are 5s and 6s, and there's even some which are rating at 4. So, you know, the actual ratings of the episodes are pretty low, shall we say, for season 11. But I mean, let's go to the end of the season. We had the Battle of Ranskor Avkolos, where we had Tim Shaw come back. But again, a lot of these episodes, I can't really remember what happened in most of the episodes.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah, you could tell me any episode from the Baker era or Tennant, because it just come to you like that. Why aren't these episodes doing that to you, Army?
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
And the only episode I can really quote from the Chibnall's years is the one with the Dalek, which I just went on verge of kicking telly.
Now, I think. Now, this resolution is the episode you talked about, and it's got a rating of 5.6. Now, I didn't mind this episode, but what was it this is the one where a Dalek kind of reforms itself and then builds a Dalek casing, and then obviously the Doctor's got to stop it. Is that the one you're talking about, resolution?
Well, so Dalek comes to Earth 600 years ago
in bits and pieces.
A super Dalek, right?
Which
we never knew.
Soldier Dalek, yeah.
You could chop it up, but then when it teleports itself back together and takes over people and all this,
yes,
and then it goes into a farmyard and builds itself a new body out of tractor parts,
as you do,
and it just gets worse. It gets worse, and it does. So you're telling me a load of knights with metal swords, right, defeated the super Dalek that landed from the stars, and then chops it up and put it across the world in a crusade. Basically. Merged itself together, built itself out of tractor parts and became indestructible. And then on top of that, you got Ryan's dad trying to flog the Doctor a microwave.
Yes, I've forgotten about that bit about Ryan's dad.
And she even said, "Oh, what? That's a good microwave, isn't it?" You know. And I was just sat there, and I sat there, and I thought, I've watched this now for 2 years.
Oh, you're like, oh yeah. Okay,
and we've come to this. This is like we've come to this. A Dalek, it got defeated by the Knights of King Arthur or whatever, then got chopped up, and it built itself out of spare tractor parts. And then, oh God, there was showdown with tank where they both fired shells.
Yeah.
And
you're not impressed. You weren't impressed. Yeah.
No.
I remember.
I know you like it, but
no.
I mean, why do you like it? I mean, I'm interested in why you liked it.
I just like the idea that because the Daleks are supposed to be so ultra powerful, that literally there is a form where it's, even though it's separated, it will not die. It still finds a way to survive and try to build itself into its casing as a traditional Dalek, which is basically a Dalek which has got nothing. And I just liked the episode. I thought it was action packed.
Well, all right.
I like that. It just appealed to me. I don't know why.
It was a special type of Dalek. It was the Dalek that sent out into space as a recon Dalek.
Yeah, that's
when
right.
It lands on a planet and sends a signal, then the Daleks turn up and conquer it. Right, I get that. So it's going to be a bit different.
It's not your average Dalek.
It got defeated by 4 dudes with swords.
Yes.
And then you get episodes of Unit and firing automatic submachine guns at it, and it's deflecting bullets and they're dropping all kinds of stuff, and it's not affecting them. And this thing got done by 4 dudes or 5 with a sword and hacked it up into parts. And this Dalek were meant to be this like unique type of Dalek that finds worlds to conquer. and then sends a signal. I get it, it's got to be different. It's a probe Dalek, so they make it more capable of survival.
Or able to survive, more sort of specialized one. Yeah, exactly.
I get that. I understand that.
I just something about it. I didn't mind it. The thing is, with all science fiction, you're going to get stories which are in many ways ridiculous. I mean, the prime example of the previous Doctor, the 11th Doctor, the 12th Doctor, was Kill the Moon, where the moon was actually a effing egg, and then that was. No, but you and I are both fans of the 12th Doctor's era.
Yeah, no, I am. I thought it was great, but
that really was. I mean, that is pretty much.
All right,
down there. Down there.
Yeah, I know.
And then the 10th Doctor, and the 10th Doctor with the guy who's got his girlfriend is a paving stone.
All right, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like every Doctor era.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but yeah, right,
yeah. That's what I'm saying. But I mean, like I said, it was. I personally liked it, but every era of Doctor Who has had some real clangers, some real. Yeah,
that's true.
And to me,
but
it's part of the appeal.
Dalek got defeated by 4 dudes with swords. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know.
It's just not going to. So Dalek turns up in 12th century and gets twatted by 4 or 5 people with swords, and they chop it up, and then suddenly I didn't even know they could possess bodies. I don't.
I kind of found
you're right about the other episodes.
I mean, I kind of like Possession. I mean, like I said, we are going to be reviewing, just a tangent, in a couple of weeks. We're going to be reviewing The Hidden, which is a great film, which we've talked about. I've done all the graphics; it's all ready to go, and that's going to be the week after next. And that is a similar premise to this episode, with bodies which are possessed by an alien form.
Are we doing done? Black Hole next week.
Black Hole next week, then it's Hidden the week after. And if that's okay with you, obviously.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine with me.
So, again, it's one of those things. I mean, alien possession, the go old in Stargate, or also in the War of the Worlds TV series. There's lots of examples of a similar premise. Daleks doing it, I can see where you're coming from. But then I like the idea that they're not very good physically by themselves. And the idea that normally they physically make a metal encasings around them as a protective thing, rather than a human body.
Out of tractor parts.
Yeah, not normally. I mean, traditional Daleks. Do you know what? Love me.
Oh yeah. And what about that security guard that said to it, "You're not going to shoot me. I'm gay."
He didn't do that, did he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he said. I think that's what he said to it. Yeah.
I don't know when it. No, they would have done that. They wouldn't have done that.
I think it did. I think they did. Yeah, I think they
did.
Seriously?
Yeah. I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, go over it. Yeah, I'll take a look.
Oh God. Well, that's just. I think they did. That's just the way that they're doing it now. But anyway, so that was right. So look, season 11 we've just discussed. Shall we dare to move on to season 12?
No, I'm not going to. It's just where it was just the fucking sheer.
No, I know what you mean.
Ridiculousness of that episode.
Yeah, I mean, I personally work for him, but I totally understand where you're coming from. Again, it's like certain episodes. Like I liked Delta and the Bannermen from the 7th Doctor era. I like that episode.
You mean when they all travelled the galaxy on a Wallace Arnold coach?
Yeah, I like it. I like sometimes science fiction to be absolutely crazy. I think you've got to have a certain eccentricity to like science fiction.
Yeah, that's true.
As I
agree. Delta and the Bannermen.
I like that one. You know what I mean? Thing is with Doctor Who as well. Every Doctor Who fan, every single one, will like different eras and different strengths and weaknesses. We are not alike. You can't say to a Doctor Who fan and talk to another one and like every episode the same. They will not. There's some episodes which are considered classic, which I think are overrated. I'm trying to think of episodes which.
But there's no the Jodie Whitaker ones. There's nothing to be called a classic, is there? Well, we got the scope and the big one with the Timeless Child story. We got the scope. We got this massive scope.
Yeah.
Of that, it was massive. The Time Lords are dead again. How many times are the dead?
How that happened?
Or they've been kicked out of the galaxy. I mean, I'm getting bored of this. We had the Time War. They brought them back. leave it at that. Yet again, Master turns. We get cyber Time Lords now. The Time Lords are dead. Again, she's the last of the time, and now we find out she's not a Time Lord, she's somebody else, and then we meet another incarnation of the past or the future, which I did like Doctor Who. I thought she was cool, but he don't explain anything, and we sat there, and then you've got the Master that despite blames her for everything, and it just somewhere it lost its. I mean, they've lost the plot, origin totally. It was a guy who was bored on his planet. He nicked a ship and cleared off.
That's it.
To experience life, and that's what it was. We all got in his adventures, But now we're on to something totally different now. Well, and it is patronising. It is. Look, a lot of episodes are very patronising. Like,
is that partly
really
because
it's in your face?
Is it partly because it's aimed for a family audience, so it's accessible to older and younger viewers?
Yeah, but why are ratings dropping them? People are switching it off. Like, I'm not blaming her. I don't think, to be honest, I don't think she's that good as a Doctor now.
Well, the ratings have been declining since the Matt Smith era. I mean,
that's
but
true.
isn't that the case that ratings generally are declining because more people are switching away from terrestrial TV onto things like Netflix and Amazon?
Yeah,
and
but I mean, but there's also a thing that when they were showing it on Christmas Day. I mean,
but they've stopped
Christmas
it now.
Episodes, but it worked on Christmas Day. It worked, didn't it, for about 10,
because you
years.
had a few drinks. That's why, and then you're sitting there and you're half,
and
you're
it
a bit
worked,
hammered.
but it was part of a tradition. Then they went and moved it to New Year's.
To New Year's, I know. New Year's not the same.
And to me, it killed the feeling of it. And I think a lot of people feel that way. It's not about the politics in it. It's not about the right and terrible. If you're going to do political messages, then go about it and do it in a very clever way.
Which they used to
and
do.
People will think that is very interesting.
You've always said before that Doctor Who has a lot of political messages, but what they did in the past, they made it more subtle.
Look at the Pertwee ones. Look at the Pertwee ones. They're great. All about the environment.
Units and everything. Yeah, exactly. The way they interacted with it. I know exactly what you're saying.
The Green Death.
It was done in a subtle way.
The Green Death resonates today big time.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with what's going on at the moment. I see exactly what you're saying, but it's more sort of in your face now. But I don't know whether it's because maybe they just believe that audience is not quite as intelligent as they used to be, and they need to make it more kind of in your face.
I don't know. I mean, it's like Star Trek Discovery, isn't it? If you compare, I mean, I'm watching DS9 at the moment. Like, I watched Impact Nor last night, and
Nor's a great one. I like it.
Fantastic, amazing, and then when you watch that an episode of Discovery, it's nothing like it. Now I accept that 20 odd years on, things have to evolve or go in a different direction.
It's not done as well. I watched DS9 The Way of the Warrior the other day. Yeah. And in the end they were talking about the Federation and actually comparing it to root beer. And it was just this conversation with Garrick and Quark in Quark's bar, and they're sort of talking about the Federation, and the way they do it is like he compared the root beer of the Federation because it's like it's sweet bubbly. And tangy and bubbly. And that's just like the Federation. You wouldn't have ever got that now. You wouldn't get that now.
I watched the episode other day as well, the one with Cisco where he sells everything out, to get the Romulans in.
Oh, that is such a good one. I can't think.
And he's talking to you as well. He's actually talking to the audience.
Face to face. Yes, I know. Yeah. And the Romulans get sort of like Senator Vreenak gets killed.
But he basically, and when he knocks out Garrick, he says, "Well, he puts his hands up. If I were you, after he killed all them people, right? Doing Garrick stuff. What a fascinating character." He said to him, "He said, look, I don't look at it as a bad situation, and he explains it. And, he says all it cost was the honour of one staff officer.
Yeah, and one swindler as well, the guy that was doing the fault. Yeah, I know.
And he said, we've got them in now. You're not going to lose. It's now an equal playing field. The Romulans.
Absolutely.
Why aren't we getting writing like that on Doctor Who? Because that was
Star Trek. Or Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Yeah, not just Doctor Who.
maybe this new series. I mean, that's why I sat back. I thought I'm not going to do. I got back. I'm not going to do a live show now.
No.
Because I found obviously we're still talking about the first.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But and I'll go into that in a minute. I mean, let's move into.
Yeah, well, let's quickly have a look at the second season. So obviously that started up with Spyfall, which featured Lenny Henry of all people.
It did. Now you see, you're having to remind me.
Yeah. No, I actually quite like that two parts. I thought that was pretty. That was the one when the master's revealed on the plane.
Yes.
And he does his cackle, and I thought that was quite.
And
a
he's traveling
moment.
around in a bungalow or what?
In a bungalow, yeah, a TARDIS bungalow, which I thought was. I loved that. I thought that
do.
was really pretty good actually for.
I'd travel around space and time in a bungalow. It'd be great.
Well, I could do it in my car, I suppose. I don't think it'd be that exciting though. So we had that. And then Orphan 55, which was considered a really poor episode. That had the guy that was in the In-Betweeners in it. I can't remember his name. He's one that was in that episode. And then we had Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror. I can't even remember that one. That was.
No, I don't.
Then we had this controversial Fugitive of the Jadoon, where we had encountered what appears to be another version of the Doctor, who appears to be a previous version, because her TARDIS looked more like it was the John Pertwee era TARDIS, which was quite a bizarre.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Well, what did you think about the idea of, again, having another unknown Doctor? Because we already
I
had
like
the War
Dr. Ruth. I like Dr. Ruth, but they had ripped it off from the War Doctor, haven't they?
That's just I said. The War Doctor. They've already done that once.
Yeah.
So, I mean, of course, later on in the season, we have the big question, which you've already mentioned, which I'll come to in a second. But other episodes were Praxis. Doctor finds herself split to. I can't remember that episode. Can you hear me? I remember that was an episode. Something stalking the Doctor, infecting people's nightmares. I seem to remember that was a good one. And then we had the Cybermen episode, the Ascension of the Cybermen, which had that character who was kind of like a Cyberman, but he had partly human face. I thought he was
I quite liked him. I liked him.
Yeah, I thought he was good.
Was just wasted.
Well, he was then in the last episode, Timeless Children, which actually this has got a very low rating of 4.9. And it says, in the epic and emotional season finale, the Cybermen are on the march. At last, remaining humans are ruthlessly hunted down. Graham Ryan and Yash find a terrifying fight to survive, blah, blah, blah. What did you think of the end of season 2, then, with the episode where we find out this controversial thing where apparently the Doctor isn't originally from Gallifrey. He or she was originally an alien from another planet. That's really quite hard to swallow, isn't it, really?
Well, it was a lot for the short time it was on, wasn't it? All that. And like I said, the half human, half cyber guy with the same cybiad or whatever. I mean, the master he said, what are you going to do with it? I said, we're going to just assimilate everybody and create the perfect universe. And he said to him, well, that's boring, and just shrunk him.
Yeah, that's right.
And he'd been around a couple of episodes.
And he was. I think he could have been a recurring. Yeah, I think they could have made him a
this
good recurring
insane,
character.
bonkers Cyberman. It's malevolent because he's lost.
But
the
not,
plot.
and also not quite like a normal Cyberman. Almost like partly
he's
got
like a
human
malfunction.
factors. And I think that was. I mean, the way you see, this is a good example of why we don't like this era so much, because they created a really good character. The actor who played him was really good. He stood out. He stole the scenes. And then the master just said, "Oh, this is boring." He's gone to a little thing.
So you had 3 or 4 episodes of it
building up his character, and then he was just wasted.
You could have brought him back every 2 seasons.
He could have come back like a recurring, like the master or something.
Yeah, you could have. Had
that was really daft. That was ridiculous.
And you could have had it where the Cybermen are hunting him down because he's like the anti thing of them.
Yeah,
he's not wanted by his own. Because he's in the middle somewhere. And they wasted that potential.
Yeah, I agree about that one. I mean, I think that was a real shame. So again, season 2. I think season 2 of this era, shall we say, which is season 12. I do think it was an improvement on the previous season, definitely. Which then takes us to the last New Year's special, which is called Revolution of the Daleks, where we see the Donald Trump character return again. And I can't even remember this one that well. It's just a mutant Dalek has a chance to clone itself. The Doctor escapes from an alien prison. What do you think? What do you think of Revolution?
I
of the
remember
Daleks?
that. I forgot all about that. So
That's the most recent
I'm
one.
just
actually,
getting a
apart from the
memory
one-
flash now.
Yeah.
Didn't they clone itself or something? And there was some company building them, and
Yes.
I was sat there thinking, well, why don't the British government recognise what they are? Because what
Yeah,
happened
but
at the
that's
Battle
been-
of Canary Wharf?
Well, the thing is, even since the Matt Smith era, everyone seems to have forgotten the Daleks from the that era that you just
But the
mentioned.
government UNIT hasn't forgotten them.
Well, UNIT doesn't seem to be there anymore. If you remember, UNIT has now been closed.
They got rid of UNIT.
They got rid of UNIT. UNIT is now no longer there, so they haven't got any Earth Defence Force anymore, which is crazy. Which again was ridiculous. That's crazy.
Yeah. Again,
That's
that
absolutely
annoyed me
ridiculous.
when they got rid of UNIT.
That's like basically us getting rid of the police. Oh, no,
Yeah,
that's it. That's it.
But
Just,
no, it is because that's the only without him and Torchwood, they're the only ones that can defend it against them.
Yeah,
And
well,
they
I mean,
got
we saw Captain Jack again, which was nice. I have no idea. I mean, I didn't
Well, we
really
won't
get
be
into
saying
it.
much of him.
No, I know. I thought about that. It's a shame because they brought him
Should we
back.
mention that on air, or should no? We better.
Well, no, I mean, we can simply mention that there's some controversial stuff happened.
Well, he
and
likes
so-
to show the tar. He likes to show his TARDIS off, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know.
he likes to. He likes to show his assets off, shall we say?
Yes.
And so because he showed them off, then he won't be coming back on. Basically, I think that's
No,
what it is.
no, it's not. Yeah, so
Even though it was about 15
Jack's-
years ago. Yeah, it was 15
'cause
years
they
ago.
Because in that episode, when I read week before that he was going to be in it,
Yeah,
I got very excited about it.
he
You
was
know,
good
that
as well.
episode.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he was great. I was so happy to. It was like seeing an
really
old
good.
friend
It was
again.
lovely. It was really
You know,
nice.
I-
A real
and I
nice
thought-
connection. Really good
Yeah,
connection.
and then he's only in it for a minute. I thought, and then he's forgotten about.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, he was in it more this one because he didn't meet the doctor. He's been in it back twice now, and then he didn't meet the doctor the first time. He just talked to the. But then he was in this one. But I mean, I think he just said at the end, "Oh, I'm off now," you know, because of course we know he's going to be the face of Bo at some point in the future. So that could be it. I think for his character because of his own personal life and because of this something which happened on Doctor Who in 2007, which I think, he should have done it, but it was, even though it's not that long ago, it's quite a different world from what it is now. And surely, haven't we all moved past that kind of thing? You know, it was just him mucking about in the studio. He just did something which he thought was funny. At the time, it was considered quite funny, and it's come up again, like with the Noel Clarke thing. So I don't know. I mean, it's just a shame that if his character won't return again, which he won't return now. They will not have him back now. That's a great shame because the connections, Doctor Who does need the connections to the past. It reinforces where it is now. So yeah, it's a real shame. So at that point, that leads us then to the most recent episode, which only was broadcast over here last Sunday, which of course was the episode after this one. So let me ask you, what did you think of the Halloween special?
And to be honest, I watched it, and to be honest, I didn't quite mind it. I mean, there was a lot in there, wasn't there?
I think that's going to be done on purpose. I think what
Yeah,
they're doing, they've got
spreading
about
the story
six.
out.
I think they've got about 6 plot elements which are going to be focusing on all the 5 remaining episodes because we've got. Let's see what we've got. We've got the woman with the weeping angel, who recognizes the Doctor even though the Doctor's not met her yet.
Yeah.
We had obviously the new Daniel character, and he's got a girlfriend or he's got a partner or something. We've seen her. We've also got the Sontaran element. Then we've also got this these people on his outpost somewhere cold or something. That's something to do with them as well. Then we've got this brother sister alien with the spikes out of their heads who are involved with this the flux to a degree.
You mean the snap? What they ripped off from Marvel?
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't going to go there, but you're right. Yeah. So do you think there's a chance this could be a good season for, even though it's a short one?
Well, I mean, I assumed the villain in with crystals on his face that were going around disintegrating people.
Yeah.
I mean, I never found. I mean, he wasn't exactly one of the most exciting baddies going, was he? But he knew the Doctor from before, and they've been battling for thousands of years.
Even though she doesn't know.
I
who he is.
assume it's going to be somebody we know.
Oh, okay. Look, I mean, somebody said Omega, but it won't be Omega. I don't think
It could be. It could be Rassilon. But he was in a
maybe
prison. It could be Omega. I think it's going to be somebody who the Doctor knows and we know. And I think that's what it is. And something's happened to him or whatever. But this is where we're at. Yeah, he had a sister though, didn't he? He had a sister, didn't he?
Yeah.
Who were living with that other alien in Iceland or Greenland.
Oh, was that? Yeah, it was Greenland, somewhere like that. Yeah, Iceland.
And then she become all evil, didn't she?
Yeah.
You know, because he freed his sister. And who were the Time Force cops? Like said, don't speak to the prisoner. Who were in that barrier thing or something.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of mystery, and I think that might be a good thing for the actual storyline. I mean, I for one don't normally like serialized. I prefer standalone, but I think that given Chibnall is due, he is trying to do things differently. And let's just see how it goes. So far, it's off to a good start. Definitely the strongest start so far of the 3 respective seasons. It's just a shame that he couldn't do a full 10 episode or 11 episodes because of COVID. They only managed to do 6. But it's better than nothing, isn't it? Plus, you've got the specials next year.
I'm not knocking it. It's one episode in.
Yeah.
And I thought it was all right. There was a lot in it. It was setting up threads to run through to
and of course this is the closest we've had since the trial of a Time Lord during the Colin Baker era, which had a similar premise, which is quite fair enough. You know, I mean, I think it's worth a try. And then of course it's only 6 episodes, and then we've got 3 more separate stories next year as well. So I'm happy with that. You know, I mean, like I said, so again, I think to sum up this era, I think that personally, I hate to say this, I do think that Jodie Whitaker, even though she's thrown herself into the show, I don't know why, I've never quite clicked with her version of the Doctor. Again, it might, I know I'm not alone, and again, I know that each Doctor Who fan likes different eras more than others. We all have different strengths and weaknesses. It could be another era where it might come back seeming not so bad in years to come, which in recent years I've watched a lot of shows and it seems to be better when I rewatch them. I don't know whether that's because I'm getting older and getting a bit more kind of judgmental, a bit more critical. You know, maybe a bit younger, you're a bit more open to it. I don't know. I don't like to think about myself being a bit more closed-minded.
I
don't know.
I'm trying not to be closed-minded. We had this discussion a couple of weeks ago about...
That's right.
About a progressive generation. I understand what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
I really do, and I respect them for that. But they're just going about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
But this episode this week, I'm not going to knock it yet. It's going to be 3 weeks before you know where you stand with this.
Yeah, and we can talk about this every week for the episodes that come out.
It's going to be on the 3rd week. I'm going to start the live shows because by then we're going to have a focus of where this is going. You know, so I think
will we though? I mean, no, but I mean, the thing is though, what if it all goes tits up again? What if there isn't a particular focus and it sort of like spirals down to nothing? I don't think it will. But you never know,
I've got a feeling this could be a benchmark series.
Yeah,
out of the other 2 crap ones we've had to sit through, I've got a feeling this might come out all right. Do you know the irony of this? This series, it could come out being absolutely amazing, and she's off, and everybody's because now she could get a chance to shine now. Yeah. You know what I mean? And there was a lot going on. I loved it when I saw the Sontarans. I thought... Yeah,
do you like the fact that they look like classic Sontarans?
Yes,
I think the makeup was great. Yeah. I think they were really good. And the guy that plays Strax, he was the other Sontaran on the screen, and he was highly recognizable as the Sontarans we've seen in New Who. It's funny because they look like Sontarans, but the makeup's just slightly different, and it makes them...
And there were old Sontarans as well. And I quite like that. So it should be... The Weeping Angels, not bothered about.
Oh, I love
I
the
think
Big Angels.
I love them, but they didn't really bring them in a big dramatic way.
I think we're going to
Like,
see them. I think we're going to have an episode focusing on them. I think we're
Yeah.
going to have a Sontaran episode, a Weeping Angels episode. Oh, someone's at my front door, but I'm sorry, I can't answer the door. Can you mind ding donging? That's a blooper, isn't it? I've got a ring doorbell. That's thrown me. Sorry.
it's the Doctor.
It is the Doctor. He's saying, "Piss off." I like Chris Chibnall's brilliant. I don't know if it's really at this time of night. It's quite late as well. Oh. I was going to say. So yeah, I think we'll have to see how it goes. But as you say, it could well be that it could be a really good era. You never know.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how it goes. But fingers crossed. But again, another good thing is that if we get 6 episodes with a good story, rather than a 10 episodes of a season where it's fillers, you get the episodes where they just have fillers. No fillers, just all good episodes. Then it'll make up for it, won't it? So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes.
That's why I'm not going to knock it just yet. Let's give it 3 weeks and then we can make that decision.
Lastly, before we finish off, do you like Dan, the new character, the new companion?
Well, yeah, quite. He seemed a nice guy, didn't he? You know.
Yeah, he's from
Cared
Liverpool.
about people and all that, and I don't know. I liked his when he went. He were going to meet her for a date and all that. I found him quite interesting that he seemed quite a normal bloke and then suddenly stuck out of his environment and he's in outer space. Did you like the dog aliens? That one dog is kind of human.
No, it just came across as too childish for me. I mean, I don't mind alien races and stuff, but it did look like a poor man's Chewbacca.
It did.
I put that thing on Facebook about saying Chewie, what has Chris Chibnall done to you, or something I put on there. I don't know. I mean, I like the idea of a race literally having a member of their race protecting every member of humanity because of this terrible catastrophe coming along. I thought that was quite appealing, actually. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
so would you want them coming for you and they take you on walks 3 times a day?
No,
because that's what they're basically like. They're coming to Earth to save each and every one of us, and then we live in a kennel and they take us for walks 3 times a day.
I don't know yet. I mean, like I said, it's I wasn't that mad on the actual makeup for some reason. I mean, I like the idea of them. The makeup didn't work for me for some reason. It just
they
didn't look too
started
alien.
him off as like some big villain with Doctor at the beginning, didn't they?
Yes, and then he was like hanging
rock
upside
and all
down.
that.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought they was this dark malevolent president, and it's a cheap knockoff of Chewbacca.
It looked like a character out of Rainbow or something. I just like.
It did. It looked like Bungle.
Yeah, Bungle. It looks a bit like Bungle or something like that.
Bungle dog. You know,
Hello, Jeffrey.
The concept that they were all coming to take one person to, as a pet, it was just that was just fucking stupid. But apart from that, I'm open. I'm interested in the villain. Obviously, I didn't. He didn't have his presence. I found not that exciting, but
it's early days yet. It's early days yet.
Yeah, and I did like the Sontaran. When I saw the Sontarans, that were it for me. So let's see where it goes. I'm open at the moment.
Well, Martin, thank you for that. I really appreciate your advice about that and your input about that. Let's see how it goes. I'm glad that we've reviewed this era because it's, like I said, it's got pros and cons. I think it's probably got more cons than pros, but it's not all bad. And again, we can't probably judge it until it's over. I mean, technically, this time next year will be when it's finishing. They said so let's see how it goes.
They said Colin Baker's run was terrible, didn't they? You know,
I like Colin Baker's era.
I know. I don't mind Colin Baker, but it's just that bloody cool.
I couldn't stand Bonnie Langford though. I couldn't stand her. The screaming Mel.
Oh yeah.
She was terrible.
Scream.
Oh, she got on my nerves. She's one of my least. A lot of people think that Perry's one of the worst companions because she had a bad American accent.
Perry.
I like Perry too. I like Perry very, very much, especially when I was about 13 or 14.
The bikini shots.
Yeah, 13 or 14 watching Perry. Like, well, hey. Yeah. Happy memories of being 13. Let's. So, okay, let's not dwell on that.
Nookie in the TARDIS.
Oh, God, yeah. Anyway, so, I remember that era more than the Mel, should we say, but there we go.
Yes.
Right, shall we go into any news that we've got this week? We've got a few things to talk about. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, now here we go.
Solar Sci-Fi
News.
All right, so obviously we've done the Doctor Who, so we don't need to cover that. So we have seen the Book of Boba Fett. We have mentioned it at the beginning of the show, but let's quickly go back to it just to get some further input on it. Looks very interesting. It looks like it's going to be, at least at the beginning, focused on Tatooine, which of course is a very well-known Star Wars planet. What do you think is going to happen in this series? Where do you think it's going to go?
Well, firstly, I uploaded the trailer onto
I
my
saw
channel.
it. Yes, well done. It was good.
And I never got any stoppages. It went straight through.
I was wondering. I was thinking about doing it myself,
Yep.
but no.
Yep,
I mean,
no problem.
why is it that certain shows that you can upload, even at the beginning of this show, right? I've got a the 13th Doctor. I've found a Fifth Doctor era 80s intro, and I mixed
Yep.
it in. But what I did was I used a flanger to make the theme tune slightly distorted, so
Yes.
it would reduce the chance of it being stopped on YouTube for copyright, because I'm sick of it. And it's like, why is it certain shows you can review and it's no problem, other things you cannot do anything and they just come down at you? It's just crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, but so many people have got the Boba Fett trailer, and it was very, very good, very exciting to see.
I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. You don't know
Did you
what's
see?
going on.
No, I mean, one
loved
thing.
it. I liked seeing Hammerhead and all that.
Yeah. Did you see that? Also, Boba is looking more better. He's like he was quite scarred when we saw him in The Mandalorian.
Yes.
His features are getting. It's like he's healing, because he's been down the Sarlacc pit. So he must be that. When we first saw him in The Mandalorian season 2, it was because he was still recovering from the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's looking stronger. He's looking more healthier. So he must be going through some sort of rejuvenation or some repair to himself that's making him look a bit more like he should be. And I think I just cannot wait to see where this story goes.
No,
I haven't got a clue. It is so vague. The trailer is so vague. And it's just got me just wondering and scratching my head thinking,
And he's an old
Boba
Boba Fett as well. He's an old Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And Ming-Na Wen, who's playing like his second in command, she's marvellous.
Yeah. Well,
You
I
know,
remember on.
with that meeting, she said, if you've shown a disrespect at Fett, so he'd have killed you all.
Yeah.
And she
ended up in the menagerie.
Yeah.
I saw that as well. And of course,
set Rancor.
menagerie, his menagerie, yeah. But we're going to see that big creature again, I think, or something related to the big creature in Return of the Jedi, like a sister of it or a brother or something, like I don't know, something to do with it. So that'd be good. Looks really good. So what other news have you got? So I mean, there were the two main things this week: Doctor Who and Boba Fett.
I saw a trailer for a film called Moonfall.
Moonfall, okay.
Yeah, I reckon we should check it out. It looks impressive. It's not out till February. They go to the moon. NASA knew something 50 years ago at moon, and it comes alive and it attacks Earth. It's like this thing. And they go back in a shuttlecraft. They have to get an old shuttle out when they go to the moon.
Okay.
To destroy it. Look, it's actually, they put the money into this thing. I didn't even know it existed.
So is it?
Trailer of the day.
Is it straight on digital, or is it something which is going to be released on cinema?
If it's going to cinema, it's a big
okay.
budget. And
Never
you
heard
see
of it.
loads of cities on Earth getting wiped out and the moon getting closer to Earth as well in the background. So I don't know, it
Sounds
looks really good though.
Yeah, all right. I mean, one film I saw this week, which I'd never seen before, was Starship Troopers Marauder. I don't know if you ever saw
Is that the third one?
The third one, because I saw bits of the second one, but I heard it was terrible. But the third one,
crap second one.
The third one features T'Pol actress in it.
Yep.
And I thought it was pretty good. It was quite a solid
I
film.
thought it bloody brilliant, that film.
And you could tell he needed a bit more money in the effects, but for what it was,
it's a shame,
it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I loved the walking battle mechs they were in.
Yeah, and then you had this super brain alien as well at the end.
Yeah,
who was
were
kind of
massive, weren't they?
Yeah.
Size of it, weren't they?
Yeah.
Very fantastic film. The second one, that was just
No,
that was just stupid.
I heard that, which is why I thought I'd go straight to the third. And I could see that. I only wish that they had a bit more money to pump into the visuals, because the visuals
It's
are
a
good.
shame, really, because I
But
think
it
that
looked
could have
slightly-
had potential.
It looked slightly fan filmy, even though they did the best with what
Yeah.
they've got. But it was still good. I'm not having a go at it. For what it was, I thought it was quite solid. But I would love to have seen that in a proper multi-million dollar project where it was like a proper sequel to the first one. It might have been really big.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was
definitely.
good. Another thing I've got this week I'm going to check out because you recommended it is Fright Night 2. Because you
Yes,
said
it's on
to
YouTube,
me,
actually.
oh, okay. Well, I've seen it online, so I'm going to check that out.
Right.
But,
Okay.
but I know Roddy McDowell's back in it, so is the guy from.
Oh, it's
the-
superb Friday Night too. It's
Yeah.
got such a. They never got the release. It only went to a couple of cinemas, and the marketing.
It's one of those things that just didn't happen.
It just didn't have a lot of faith in it, and it's such a good. It holds up. It holds up just as
Holds
good
up
as
well.
the first one.
So I think what we'll do in the next few weeks, if you don't mind, is we'll do a review of the original Fright Night.
Yep, no,
and
that's fine.
then after a few weeks later, maybe we can review the second one as well. You know,
Yeah.
we've got so many films to review, and TV shows.
I
It's so
watched.
fun.
I picked up Vamp, Grace Jones, and
I saw that. I saw the thumbnail. I didn't see it, but I recognised Grace Jones. What was that like? Was
Yeah,
it good?
absolutely. Watched it last night, reviewed it this today, and absolutely adored it. I recommend Vamp. You should
Okay.
take a look. Yeah.
I mean, I know Grace Jones. The only thing I've ever seen her in is The View to a Kill. But
Yeah.
I'm willing to give it a go if you are.
Very
Like I said-
Fright Night, you know.
Yeah,
A lot
okay.
of films have took a lot from that, you know, because vampires were like in the 70s, it were all black capes and, you know, all that covering the face and the eyes, and then they're always running. I don't know, Christopher Lee always got an horse and cart back to Transylvania overnight, which he couldn't have done at that time.
No.
Before sun comes out, but he managed it with
Yeah.
woman had kidnapped. But in the 80s, vampires got redefined totally.
Yes. Well, I liked The Lost Boys.
Oh, I love that
I
film.
thought that's a really good film. I
Yeah,
watched
we
that.
need to
And it's
do
got a
Lost
great
Boys.
sound. I even bought the soundtrack to it. It's
Yeah,
just
I've
that
got
good.
the soundtrack to that.
Love the soundtrack to that film.
Yeah,
Right.
fantastic
Okay.
film.
Another one that's okay. So it's funny how we talk on these shows and then we start talking about future episodes. So
Yeah.
all right, Friday Night, Lost Boys are coming up. Although they're more well, they've got sci-fi elements as well as horror, and I don't mind that. I mean, although it's a sci-fi podcast, it's not set in stone. You know, it's just
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, so that's another two.
We've got the new Marvel film coming out Friday. It's already been panned, apparently.
Remind me which one's what's
The
the
Eternals. That it's
Has it got bad reviews?
it's well, I were gonna go see it. You see, out of curiosity.
Right.
But they
I know
are
you-
based on a failed comic line. They keep bringing these comics and they keep failing.
right.
And I thought they've took a risk turning them into, because they're running out of the big names now. You know,
Well, they've
it's
done a
always
lot now,
back
haven't they? Yeah,
catalogue.
yeah. Of course they have.
And it's out on Friday, so we're hoping to catch it Thursday. You know how they have them little premieres night before?
Yeah.
They're not having any anyway. Because I thought my local cinema, because it's an audience, they might show one on the Thursday, but no, it's all on Friday. So I don't know if I'm going to go see it yet. I mean, and then I saw the Morbius, the Living Vampire trailer, and I don't know, it just didn't get my jollies going at all. Yeah, I don't know. To me, I think Marvel might have ended the end game, you know, for me.
Now that's very interesting because, of course, I'm still new to Marvel. I've only just seen them all. So, of course, you've stuck with Marvel a lot longer than I have. So,
Yeah.
if you're starting to get some indications that they might be starting to lose their way somewhat.
Yeah, well,
Then-
it's like I saw Ten Rings, Shang-Chi. It was all right. It's not like Iron Man. Right? You know, these films are quite iconic. I know
Yeah.
that they're going in a different direction now. They're trying to bring in the multiverse.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
it's
they're
quite an
trying to
interesting
open the
idea.
playground, which
Yeah.
and maybe it might work by the time we get to Spider-Man. You know, and Doctor
When
Strange.
is that? So I mean, I like Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man is multiverse or something, isn't it? Into the
Yeah, you know, that's Doctor Strange, I think. Multiverse.
oh, is it?
of
Oh,
Madness.
sorry, yeah.
But it's
yeah.
the next Spider-Man movie. It's all opened up to parallel universes, and then
Right.
Doctor Strange goes in, and that all this is to do with Loki TV. So maybe Marvel, the first couple of films, but they've got to establish the main art in between Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. that's where it's got. If they don't,
Sounds like
set
they're
it
going to
up
do
with
that. Otherwise,
I
it won't
don't
work. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. But I'm open to Eternals. I don't. So some people say that they're all panning it, but I'm open to it.
Wait
I'm
until you get more
I'm like
information. Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
like you. When I've seen it, then I'll make a decision.
Yeah, and I'm as I'm watching these films, I'm looking less and less at reviews, and I'm just making my own decision. Because in the end, you're an individual. You got your own taste, and if it clicks, it clicks. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And in the end, a lot of these things aren't always very specific, and I don't know. It's strange, isn't it? But it's the way it goes. I'm still watching Foundation, by the way. That series on Apple. That's pretty good.
How many episodes are we in now?
I think we're into episodes. I've only seen the first 3, but it's a good production. It's
yeah.
How many have you seen?
So what I'm gonna be starting on. I think I left it 3 weeks ago. I assume there's 5 episodes up.
I think there's 6 now. There's 6 up there now.
Right. I thought that'll give. So I've got 4 hours of Foundation.
I'd like to when we get a bit further along. I'd like to talk to you about that because that.
Yeah, it's
that
only 10 episodes. So
yeah, I mean, if it's good enough, I mean, maybe we'll do a review of that as well once that's done.
Have you seen June yet? Have you watched it?
Yeah, I thought you've seen it.
Everybody's
seen that.
Yeah. Watching it this weekend.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd like to hear your opinion. Yeah.
June. Yeah.
Brilliant.
All this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to hear your opinion of June. I'm not going to give it. I mean, obviously, it's,
I've heard it. Everybody, a few friends of mine have said it's.
I've enjoyed it. Yeah, I have enjoyed it. I mean, like I said, it's compared to that original '80s version, which was just a pile of shite, basically.
Yeah.
So I mean, sorry, I just thought the original was absolute crap. This so far, obviously, it's only part 1. Is very good. Apparently, part 2 will be the harder one to film, but I never clicked with the first one. I don't know why. It was just something about it. I just didn't like it. I think you liked it more than I did. I'm not sure, but I just
I don't mind it. I actually went to see that at the cinema. Actually,
yeah. I
sat there, was just blown away. I thought, what the hell's going on?
No, I just didn't click with it. I just didn't click with it at all. And when you look at it back now and you see Patrick Stewart, only a few years before Next Generation, and I thought to myself, he's in this, and it just, I don't know what it was. It just didn't work for me. I don't know why. I have tried.
In Discovery this month as well, isn't it? 18th
oh gosh,
November,
yeah, it's only
November, yeah.
A couple of weeks from
this
it's
not
time
long,
recording. No. So are you going to do shows on that as well, or are we going to just discuss?
I don't know. I don't know. It's the thing is, I do like talking to people and doing live stuff, but it just takes a lot of. You've got to be in right frame of mind to do it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, when we record this,
might be out and busy, and sometimes come running on to do a live stream. I mean, I'm going to do a couple of at Doctor Who, but I'm waiting until we get a longer thread. Then I've got more to bite at. That's all.
Well, at some point, I mean, obviously, if you don't need to, it's fine. But if you want me to come along at some point and give you
we can do a live stream together on the third episode if you want.
Yeah, all right, we work it out.
Set it up on StreamYard and we'll give it a go.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. Let's sort of like talk to you our reactions just after seeing it.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
All right. Let's get a few more along and then let's see how it goes. And if you're free, if not, no problem. Either way, that'd be fine.
Yep.
All right, Martin. Anything else before we sign off?
No, I think that's it. There's a lot of stuff coming this month.
Yeah, it's all starting up now. It's going to be. I mean, we're going to have so much.
I'll compile a list for next week and see what's coming.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good. I mean, the drought of not watching anything new is just about over now. We've got Doctor Who, we've got Discovery, Lost in Space. We've got.
Lost in Space. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Expanse.
I forgot about that.
The Expanse, and then we've got the Orville, then we've got Boba Fett, then we've got Picard, then we've got Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're going to have so much to talk about over the next few months. Great stuff.
Definitely.
Well, I'm going to finish off now. I managed to find this funny clip of this guy singing a song. This is just soon after Jodie Whitaker was chosen as the new Doctor, and let's just say he had some reservations about the new Doctor and as to how the series went. I just thought I'd put this at the end because it's quite funny. Martin, thank you very much. We'll be back next week with The Black Hole, one of my very first ever Disney sci-fi films.
Yeah, same for me. Yeah.
Which I always remember, and it had a great theme tune by John Williams. I remember that as well. And it's a good film, and I want to talk to you about that. I'm going to give it another watch before
definitely.
next week. Martin, thank you very much. We'll see you next week on the Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast.
Live long and prosper.
There's a show that I like to see that's broadcast on the BBC, the star of which is Peter Capaldi. But he is going to change his face, he's going to regenerate and turn into this actress named Jodie. Jodie, I can't believe the Doctor's not a man. Jodie, I am no longer a Doctor Who fan. 'Cause if Time Lords can change their sex, I wonder what will happen next. A female Captain Kirk or Mr. Bean. And everyone who will complain are idiots who don't like change or 30-year-old virgins just like me. Jodie, I don't want a TARDIS full of bras. Jodie, and will you park it like you park your cars? I've calmed down now, I will not moan until the first episode. I'm sorry for acting like an arsehole. And I'm sure Jodie Whitaker will make a fabulous Doctor, but I'm just fucking glad it's not Chris Marshall. Jodie, good luck in proving all the haters wrong. Jodie, I hope that you make out with River Song.